When I tried pressing stop stream, it displayed stopping stream for a really long time, and then it actually
Okay.
stopped. So I think we're good.
So to put it in perspective,
Yeah.
the whole audio about like Skype about Skype like readjusting your audio
Yeah.
just happened.
Oh my god.
It's okay. Okay, yeah, we're up
We're
now.
back.
Okay. So now it's time to fight Ridley.
Yes.
There was a lot of time traveling there.
Oh.
No, we get to brawl with Ridley.
So you have to use a power bomb on him just
Yeah.
because. Even though it's not even optimal, it's
Okay.
just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually
There we
based
go.
on the amount of times you hit him, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's actually based on damage.
Oh, damage. Okay.
Just straight damage. So you'll have to hit him a couple more times on this mode before his armor's broken. On the other phase 2, it is just 3 times though.
So I'll tell you now, this gold time sucked ass. Like, this was a very frustrating gold time to get.
Thanks, Zero.
Almost all of it has something to do with the fact that his fireballs block, block missiles. So it sucked ass. It was.
And since we do, like no damage on a Nightmare, it's gonna take a while to even break his armor. Easier said than done, Jeremy.
There we go.
I gotta say, like how Hex gave him armor, but it was breakable armor. What? Like what? Hex, hello?
We'll just say that Jeremy found ways to break through it. He's like, whatever.
That's the
It's a very
explanation for everything.
way. Yeah,
Yeah, like
Jeremy
there's
did
always
something.
there's always an ass pull there. So
Well,
I mean, it's good to hear you admit it.
you have to be like really self-aware to like make a game like this. Look how you just stood in front of Ridley even though you knew right what he was gonna do.
Not playing too smart right now. I blame the internet.
so I actually found a way to break his armor on the first flame breath that he does, and it abuses the fact that Ridley turns to you and always it will always face your direction. Initially, if you put 3 bombs on his other side and then you turn him, he will always run into them.
And
It's very.
with the max DPS, does that actually damage him enough to break the armor?
Yeah, you can break you can break his armor before he actually lifts off at all.
Huh.
I remember that Zero.
Okay, let's try actually using some diffusion missiles, all 2 of them.
You get more than that. You get like 3.
Oh, that's actually nice.
Yeah. Yeah, diffusion. It's only the when you have the railgun on that it takes 5. Diffusions only take 3 from you. Like proper charging.
Yeah, I pretty much only use them with the railgun.
See, I just kind of assumed that you had to break it with bombs instantly. Like, I shot him with, phaser missile, nothing. I was like, oh, I gotta bomb his armor off.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 3 things you can do.
No. Moogie net, please.
Uh-oh, it's going bad again. Love Slake's there. He goes, I just scanned Ridley.
Okay. It was just a little bit of buffering. We're still here.
Okay. That's
that wasn't too bad.
better than what it could be. Wow, I actually hit him. Okay. And you actually don't have to deplete his entire HP there. That's interesting. Like, what is the...
Yeah, it really is scared.
What is the actual trigger for going into phase 2 then, if it's not 0 HP?
It's like 10% HP. It's only 10 or 8%.
It's always nice having the game designer right here so he can answer random questions like that.
It's gonna be funny having this LP on YouTube where it's just gonna like half me and you, Moogie, and then the other half is like with Zephyr.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot he dashes twice.
Yeah, Slice is Zero. Slice is a potty mouth.
So at least you can take more than 3 hits on like Kraid.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Kraid is harder than Ridley?
Yes, probably. Okay. Dashed in the wrong direction. I still try to do a backwards air dash from time to time, and it never works out.
Damn. None of my armor breaking strats. So sad.
Oh, and that time I dashed directly into flames, which is also very good playing.
Oh wow, Twitch lets you say fuck, but not bitch. It just censors that for some reason.
Yeah, Twitch's
It's just triggering.
Twitch's censors are very inconsistent and also very bad. It reminds me of, you know, like web games, online games back in like, you know, the early 00s, let's say, where you couldn't say any word or it'd be censored.
Yeah, the Morphball dodges, Moogie. Even
Morphball is
getting
fun to
them
dodge
pretty
with, I have to say.
Yeah, this is an automod thing.
So is which side he comes up at the start just random?
Oh yeah, I was actually curious about that myself. Like, what actually dictates what side he comes on? Is it just he just picks at the start of the fight?
I think the first one is random.
And then the other one is just the opposite side of what he goes down in?
I think so. I had to look. Because that was changed recently.
Keep getting hit at the start, and that's no good. Basically, if you can't tell by now, I pretty much always just restart immediately if I get hit near the start of a boss fight. I'm real quick to give up on an attempt if I don't think it's worth it.
We just know you want your fun meter to go up.
Oh yeah.
Like the number of deaths correlates directly to how much fun you're having.
Oh, try to hit him with missiles.
This is why like Kefit hates fun. So.
Raquel loves fun.
Raquel loves science. Speaking of which,
Raquel.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
You sure you're not Canadian? But what I was gonna say is Raquel's LP of this game is incredibly funny, and one of the things that confused me is that he got really stressed out of the Metroid Nightmare Gate. Like, it stressed him out like really hard, and I don't understand why. I'll never understand why.
It might have been the control change.
He seemed to also get really stressed out of the Bald Nightmare Gate too. Did not seem to enjoy the auto scrolling.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Maybe he just didn't feel in control.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna mention that he actually added demo to the game in the water temple.
I didn't know
yeah.
about the demo lore until recently.
It's probably not something most people would notice unless they're like very familiar with his LPs. God, this is going.
Oh yeah, that's true, Slicks. That's probably the best. That is one of the greatest things. So the Talk House every year, if you're familiar, they use their Talk House Mosts. Like they just awards that the community makes up and then that they then vote on. And the DT Rowcat Let's Play got both the best and the worst LP of the year.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Because I mean, it was so fucking long. It's like, what is it? It's 170 videos, I think. It literally lasted like over half the year.
Yeah, it lasted a long time.
So eventually I'll figure out how to dodge this fight. This fight I remember giving me a lot of trouble in the original my original playthrough as well. So I probably should have practiced it before starting this, but whatever. Who needs practice?
Yeah, I really hope he does. Actually, I want to see Rowcat's reaction to like Street Fighter. It'll be a.
Oh yeah. Street Fighter and Pong. Pong is like one of the more memorable moments for me throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I died when Pong happened.
I could see him trying executive, but definitely not.
Definitely not Wex.
Nah, it doesn't have Superman there, yeah.
Oh shit, jumped too early.
It's funny you say that, Pillar, because in the code I call it the dive. I just call it the dive kick. Like that's how it's referred to.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice the dive kick when I played it. And you can't do it in the boss gallery, so... Well... So this guy actually has a pretty easy pattern. I'm not sure why I was having so much trouble at first.
You can't like Mario clone or Mario edits and then not like sprite rip.
Yeah.
Because like it's essentially it's not the same thing, but it's pretty dang close. My favorite Kefit moment on this fight is when he kept getting hit by the dash, and he's like, "There's no indication for this." And I think it was you, Wafu. You were just like, the sound.
You mean the completely audible indication for it? You mean? Oh, that's LP also said something, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Alright, this attempt is not going too badly. You know, knock on wood. Wow, I dodged that. Holy shit.
Dude, don't call him old. I'm not that far away.
Okay, so I did in fact jinx myself by saying that.
Oh no,
You just did a
spoilers.
sick fireball dodge. How do you fuck this one up?
Same way I fucking...
Oh, that's how you fuck this one up.
Oh wow.
Oh
There's
god.
how.
I got...
Nice.
I got pretty much comboed by him, let's say.
Get MLG Mountain Dew on. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's true, Slikes. But I mean, I don't mind. I know the game isn't going to appeal to everyone. I don't really mind if people hate on it. There's plenty of things there's plenty of things to not like.
I really
What do you mean the game? That's confusing. That's a good one.
I don't get the whole sprite rip thing myself, because it does seem like a lot of people who shouldn't be opposed to sprite rips give that as the reason why they're not interested in this game. I mean, I guess like
Yeah,
they're
I don't
reminded
know.
of, you know, those Mario kills everybody flash games on Newgrounds or whatever.
God, those things.
Oh, that's some memories. So, Kethit didn't seem to like the armor mechanic that much because it slowed the fight down, but I thought it was, I don't know, I didn't really mind it that much at all.
It goes away in just one morph ball spam if you time it correctly, so it's not really that bad.
I think it was just because I think Kethit assumed there was no way to crack his armor outside of his dash attack. And to be fair, it's not exactly intuitive as to how you crack his armor outside of his dash, but there's definitely more ways to do it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Super Tofu Boy, those friggin' yeah, I remember those PETA Flash games. Trash.
Oh god, the PETA Flash games, yeah, I remember those things too. Alright, so this run's not...
There you go, Zero, exactly.
Okay, that run went so bad, I let him kill me. Let's go with that.
I love when you dump yourself in the lava.
Oh yeah, that's also very good.
Don't let Ridley kill Claire. That's awful.
High production quality, no way. Those things are so janky. The art always is so weird, and then like the controls on them are super bad. Especially that like that Tofu Boy thing. That thing was incredible bad.
I actually remember the original Meat Boy Flash game as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that wasn't that great.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You go play Super Meat Boy and you're like, ah, this is awesome, and then you play the Flash one, you're thinking, whoa, big difference.
It's actually hard to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually hard to believe that the original Meat Boy is like not just some fan-made Flash clone, but actually by Edmund McMillan, and like actually the predecessor to Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, Super Meat Boy is great. It's one of my favorite indie games to this day.
It's pretty great. Slakes and I played it together. Who was it that also played with it with the Slakes, where we would stream it to each other while playing it and kept trying to beat each other's scores. So we would go. We were trying to go through the game, and then like sometimes one of us would go and say, "Hey, we got the score on this level," and the other one would then have to stop what they're doing and go and beat that. Avery, that's it. That's what it was. Yeah, and we'd go and try to beat the scores of our buddy, because they did a really smart thing with the game. When you check the leaderboards on levels and stuff like that, it compares you to your friends first instead of the global leaderboards.
Oh, that's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really good.
So I'm curious, Zephyr.
That's what DT1 and that's what DT2 is, Brian. Brian goes, you should make a shitty DT3 Flash first. This one will appear more by comparison. And then Zero says DT2, and that was going to be my answer.
So I'm curious, Zephyr. Do you have like any like weirder, or I shouldn't say weirder, that's rude, but like interesting fans that prefer DT1 or DT2 to DT3?
I don't think so. I think people were skeptical. Like they were like, but the DT1 or DT3 doesn't have like the RPG mechanics. It doesn't have all like the other things. And then they play DT3 and they're like, oh yeah. And they go look at DT1 again, and they realized it was rose tinted glasses there.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, I don't entirely hate DT1. I like some of the things there.
I think
if it was
the way I would describe DT1 is that it overextended itself.
Yeah, if it controlled a little more like DT3, it could be better.
Yeah, that's one issue I actually did have was the controls in the previous two games, especially since I was using a keyboard, and you don't want to use a keyboard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean they've been. So you remember how the controls were very loose. The characters kept their momentum when they move. That's been taken down a notch quite a bit. It's closer to DT3 now.
Oh, yeah, that would... Actually, just altering the controls to be exactly the same as DT3 would probably go a long way towards making them more playable, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's way closer now.
Yeah, that's a good change.
But I mean, that's just not. There's a lot of other things wrong with it.
It's a band-aid.
Is there really things that DT1 did better than DT3? I haven't. That's not a thing I've heard by anybody else except Brian. Pretty much the universal opinion I've heard from everybody that's played DT1 is like DT3 is just the version of it that's like the version of it, basically.
I think some people like the technicality of DT1.
I see.
Like there's a lot more creative things you can do with its systems than DT3. Or just weird things you can do with it, I guess. Some people like that. But that technicality is also, yeah, what Slake said, it's overcomplicated too.
And you can also fight Shroud Lord in DT1, you know. Everybody's favorite boss.
It's been a while since I've updated DT1. It has a change on my end that I haven't released because I didn't actually tune it all the way. It was tuning the jump attack, and it's too much right now.
Give it controller support.
Yeah, maybe.
Got comboed by him again. But I did figure out this fight more or less, so it shouldn't take too much longer. Famous last words. I say a lot of famous last words in this LP.
You do? Oh, wow.
Man, Ridley just goes Sonic speed.
He does. He's like faster than Sonic the Hedgehog even.
Ridley 2006.
It seems like you're forgetting that you can dash through the fire.
Yeah, I'm not forgetting, I just neglect to do it.
I see, I get you.
Because I'm used to War Master's Fire. Let's go with that.
Yeah, DT1 just kind of sticks you in the middle of it.
I think that's just kind of bad though, as like an accessible game like that is is meant to be played by people.
Yeah, DT1 in the beginning, admittedly, was not meant to be played by anyone. People. Like it was meant to be played by like 3 people, and whoever else wanted to play it on that forum, which was maybe like 2 others. But then it grew.
How did Raukau even find the original? Because I know I would have never found out about the series period if not for his LPs.
It got posted onto what was it? Oh, do you remember Super Mario World Fusion?
Yeah.
Like the game that never was now? It got posted on their forums. And then, do you guys remember the guy Slit08? He's on Raukau's forum as well. He had seen it there, and he started playing. He really loved it, and then he actually recommended it to Raukau. Is on the request thing, and Raukau's like, "Oh, this looks really interesting," and then he tried it, and it was really weird because I don't really like Let's Plays all that much.
Right.
But I sometimes watched Raukau every once in a while. He's about the only one I ever watched. And then I hear that I'd never been on the forums before I knew about it, but I just kind of casually watched his LPs here and there. Sometimes his Mario, most of the Mario stuff. And then, or no, I said that wrong. I liked his B side. I liked some of the random things he played.
Oh, and he ended up playing DT as one of the B-sides.
Yeah, and then I was like, what? Holy shit! I'm not ready for that amount of people playing this game.
Yeah, because then you have people like me who played DT2 and like, what is this shit?
That video, I laughed at that description on that video, Moogie.
Oh, I'm kind of sorry about making that video at this point, but...
It's totally fine. I did take no offense from it at all. I was like, it was pretty. I don't know. To me, it felt like you were being sarcastic about certain things. It didn't really seem hateful at all.
Yeah, I mean,
even if
I've played much worse games than DT2. There are many games in this world that make DT2 look like a masterpiece. Don't worry.
Oh
Some are
yeah,
even
what Brian
commercial
said.
games.
So Brian, what Brian said here, he says, I'm actually friends with one of the devs of the fan-made My Little Pony Fighter, which has been renamed to Them's Fighting Herds, and he's the one who suggested the game because I also like ponies.
Oh.
Them's Fighting Herds.
So they had to change it. So like they were getting pretty far in that project, the My Little Pony fighting game, but Hasbro shut them down, and so they rebranded it. And Lower and Faust even helped them with like some of the new like the character art and all that.
I believe I actually know someone who worked on it as well, if you can believe it.
Yeah, it's like family from a different game that I made before DT1 that nobody should ever play. Brian has it. He streams it at times. Hasn't streamed in a while, but there's been a lot of other things going on. Don't play it. I will not give it out. You can experience it through Brian if you want to see his stream sometimes. I think he has some VODs.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian says he will continue. It's really fucking bad.
So again, you don't actually have to get him to 0% HP there.
Man, so Ridley Phase 2 sort of gave you the business. You just kind of realized how long you've been on this guy.
It's okay, we're on Phase 3 now. AKA where everybody forgets how the air dash works.
I forgot that this how many, like, or not how many attacks, but how fast, like, Ridley's, like, dash attack actually got by the end. So...
Yeah, he gets pretty fast. Zero's like, I can send it to you. It's a very broken game. It's true, Slakes. It is a polished game. Or no, DT1 is a polished game compared to that. Zero, do not send that to him because remember oh my god, do not send that to him. Like at least wait for me to give you that one thing where since I still have RPG Maker on my PC, I was actually able to go back in there and look at some of the code now that I'm more experienced, and I was like, oh, I can do something a little different here to fix a certain control issue. Like at least send him that if you're gonna send him that horrible thing.
You sure have an interesting dev history, Zephyr, I gotta say.
See, I also made really bad RPG Maker games when I was younger, but I didn't go on to make DT3. That's the difference between me and Zephyr.
Yeah, like, I'll just be honest, I think you, like, casually shit out one of the best 2D games ever made. Just, honestly. And,
3.5 years of development.
And, like, I don't know how you did it, but, like, I don't know. It's kind of amazing to me.
Yeah, I think it's anybody who's like very familiar with how games as a whole work and are made and all that is going to be impressed with DT3 if they manage to play all of it. Because, I mean, like, War Master alone is something you would never see in any other game. Just a boss of that level of complexity, I can't think of pretty much anything to rival it. And apparently Zephyr made it in, a week, so that's something.
Well, that's an interesting point, Brian, but I think, like, I could go back and destroy any boss in DT3 now. Like, in a normal road, I think I could casually rip apart any boss in this game now. Except for Wex.
And now that you've fought Wex, everything else is just easy by comparison.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most things in any video game is kind of easy compared to Wex, to be totally honest.
Wex is a pretty ridiculous boss. Like, when I've been, like, giving him, like, 30-minute sessions of just trying to get past, make some progress in the fight, and it's ridiculous how much concentration it just takes to even fight him at all.
I kind of just want to play DT1 just to, I want to fight the Demon Cursor, because
It's the best boss in the game.
It looks hilarious. It's just so hilarious looking. And I also, just because Shroud Lord has kind of an infamy to him, that I kind of want to see what he's like.
If you want to see what the game, like, burying its fangs, so don't play it on the distorted mode first. Play it on the hard mode. If you play it on normal, there's a lot of mechanics you don't need to understand. But if you play it on hard mode, there are things you need to actually do.
That's a good way to describe it. Things you need to do. So I was trying to do.
You can, Slikes is right. Yeah, Slikes helped out with that level. He did help out with that boss. The demon cursor.
How many bosses are in DT1 anyway?
Not even close to the amount there were in DT3.
Well, I wouldn't expect any game to have 60 bosses, to be totally honest with you, so...
25?
Wasted my air dash at the end.
Oh, you're so close.
So when you can't quick kill this guy, you have to actually fight him, and that's bad. Because, you know, the gold time is like 8 seconds or whatever.
I killed him in 5. In my gold time.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, Brian is right, or Zero is right there. That hard mode in DT1 is the experience, I guess. Yeah.
What made you decide to not have any sort of difficulties, like real difficulty setting in DT3? Is you just want to make sure everybody got like the same standardized experience without having to balance like all 3 different...
Basically, yeah. I had a certain... I don't even know how to explain it right now. Like Ridley, for example, like when he has a bullet stream that it has a certain gap, like I want that gap to be the same. I don't want to have to make multiple variations of that. And then also because I knew the game was gonna be a little bigger, not as big as it was.
A little bigger, he says.
A little bigger, and I didn't want to have to test like 3 million different things, variations on a thing, or on one boss.
I figured just at the scale of DT3, trying to balance it for 3 distinct difficulties would be too much for anybody.
Yeah. And yeah, one very polished difficulty. And I actually kind of subscribe to Slakes' ideals when it comes to hard modes, in that they shouldn't just be ramp-ups of numbers. They should change the way you play the game.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Please. Can you just tell, like, the whole gaming industry that? Honestly, I just wish like everyone knew that.
Well, I mean,
like that's really all DT1 really does, is it just changes numbers. Now, in the difference between like normal and hard is that it requires you to actually make use of like its crippling mechanics and some other stuff like that. So like that will change the way you engage with the game, but it still doesn't really fundamentally change the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like it's so sad, like the way that like AAA games especially treats like other difficulty modes. It's just it's just extra difficulty through tedium, and it's so depressing.
Well, I mean, part of that is that like the development schedules for AAA games will not allow to actually make more than one real difficulty. Like you very rarely see that. Off the top of my head, the only AAA game I guess I can think of would be Bayonetta. It does that. All 3 difficulties. Well, it has basically 2 base difficulties, and it takes away witch time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in DT1's case, it really is a different experience in that one, in that regard. Especially the difference between normal and hard. Like that's the biggest difference there.
So the escape sequence, a bit difficult on Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what Slake says, he doesn't like difficulty when they change numbers in a way that say do it, but you get fewer mistakes.
It seems that nobody likes the distorted difficulty. What happened with the distorted difficulty?
Distorted difficulty shouldn't exist. So what happened is when I was making DT1, the fans that it was picking up, they were all playing the game and they were wanting content really much faster than anyone could ever make it.
You had like a rabid fan base for DT1?
The few that I had, but yeah. So they wanted more content. So I was like, I can't make content that fast. And I was like, and someone suggested, well, want another difficulty setting, like we beat in hardcore mode of what you've made. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And then I did it. And so like distorted mode was basically, here's things that I would never actually put into the game. Like here's like the number scale in a way, and like certain traps that I removed. Here they are back. There wasn't a lot of those, but that happened. But yeah, Slikes, yeah. So Slikes, you were there, but then there were so the community that wanted the harder difficulty, actually came from all these guys in Brazil.
That's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. DT3 has quite a following in Brazil, actually.
Really?
Well, as in Germany.
Really?
But yeah, there's a lot of traffic that comes from Brazil.
I mean, I've basically never seen DT3 mentioned anywhere on the internet outside of the Talk House, I'm gonna be honest. It's like the most obscure game ever.
Yeah, 'cause I don't ever talk about it. Maybe I might talk about it more now that I'm not afraid of some random company sending a cease and desist.
Oh, right. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think you would have much story about with that. Like, I mean, like, I Want to Be the Guy and Boshi are really famous, and nobody's ever done anything about them.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to. But I mean, if I did, it's not a big deal. I also would not say who I got it from, just so I don't have to so nobody can direct their hate at somebody.
Yeah. Like, the reason Nintendo ended up sending the cease and desist to another Metroid 2 remake is because they figured it could be actually mistaken for a real Metroid game. And obviously that's not the case with DT3. Nobody's going to mistake this for
What's up, Jerry? Yeah.
a real entry in any of the respective games it takes from. So I just can't seem to make it here with more than one hit left.
You see, I honestly thought that about Nightmare at first when I first saw it, that it was just going to be like super spongy bosses. But I've seen like attacks from bosses I didn't even know existed.
Like what?
Like, for example, I didn't know about the final phase of Blackmore where he goes all the way to the corner.
Oh yeah? Huh.
Because I just slaughtered him because he just dies.
Actually, now that I think about it, Zephyr said he didn't play Ecclesia, but he put Blackmore in as a boss.
I watched videos.
Yeah, you mentioned that you watch videos to make Menace, and I was actually kind of really surprised because it plays exactly like real Castlevania boss in the Game Boy Advance game. So that was like, wow, he made this from watching videos.
And yeah, like honestly,
Yeah,
none of the bosses we've seen here have like even taken very long, even outside of like the if anything, it feels like almost the proper length for the bosses that doesn't come from just knowing that the Mega Man weapon set is busted.
Yeah, like it's basically taken me as long as it took me on my initial playthrough to beat the bosses, which is, I guess it's showing that they're more or less balanced for high-level skill as well as this high-level DPS that you have going through.
Yeah. Oh man, Slikes. I'm glad you said that. So Slikes has this controller that is I guess it's just purposely bad, and it's just an awful controller. And he was playing DT3 with that controller, just all normal settings, and he had a webcam aimed at his hands so you could see this controller. It's like, so you need to do that at least just one more time. These guys need to see this controller and to see how awful it is.
Like, if I am to be honest, after watching Nightmare, I honestly think that the Mega Man weapon set should be nerfed, to be totally honest with you. I think that the energy gem is broken. I think it shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, the energy gem, the thing with the energy gem is that it seems bad at first, because like, oh man, why would I want the second charge level? But no, it's like incredibly ridiculous if you actually try using it.
Yeah, it's
like I think the
super
power
powerful
glove.
item.
I think the power glove, for example, is worth getting crazy numbers for because you have a very massive trade-off for doing so. But like the energy gem is just don't ever unequip this and slaughter bosses with it.
Yeah.
And like there's just like it's just the Mega Man weapon is just too easy and like too like good at just straight horizontal DPS.
For sure. Yeah. I would actually, like, in future games, take out any just pure damage boosting items if they don't have some sort of trade-off.
Yeah, because in DT3 you get the free 10% either way, even if you have nothing equipped, just from filling in the skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if anything, I actually really like the power gloves, for example. I don't really like the plot armor. I think the plot armor is kind of useless, to be totally honest with you.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's completely
The
useless.
plot armor sucks. There's no reason to use it ever. Like, even if you're bad at the game, it's not going to help.
Like, I almost considered putting it on for like the lightning grid room because I fucking sucked at it. But
So there's no checkpoint before Ridley in this escape sequence, and that's bad. I don't mean it's like a bad design choice. I'm saying it's bad for my playing. So we'll see. It's actually kind of good from a like building tension standpoint, but not so much when you suck.
Yeah. It's like I was able to post links earlier. Zero. Oh man, it must have been like 5 months before the game was out, like 4 or 5.
Oh, shit. Okay, should have tried to do
you were so close in that escape. You were so
that. I
close.
was so close and yet so far. It's a common thing.
This escape sequence is pretty hard, I guess. So,
Yeah,
On this, yeah.
you basically have to avoid taking damage, and like you can't kill the enemies quickly enough to just run through. You have to actually kind of dodge around.
honestly, like also Quaff was showing me like examples of him fighting Sarah, and the on Nightmare difficulty as well. And Sarah is like, I think Sarah is improved dramatically by being on Nightmare mode because her health pool is pathetic, and like I think she's one of the best pure design bosses that is in DT3. But you don't get to like experience it much because you just evaporate her.
Yeah, Sarah is kind of strange. It feels like she should have more HP than she does.
Yeah, she really should. I mean, at this point, that's not gonna change.
Oh,
But yeah.
I think it's probably best to avoid like going back and trying to rebalance anything in DT3 now, because it needs to be done at some point.
Oh yeah. Well, if we look at that link that Slake's posted, that's the controller.
This is the what the fuck is this thing?
Slake's, how far did you get on your run with that controller?
What kind of eldritch abomination shit this thing out? Like, what the hell is?
So I'm apparently bad at jumping now. Shit.
Ah, that's right. He beat death with that controller.
Ah, Rookie, come on,
What
man!
happened?
you were so close.
Super close.
And suddenly the game audio got really loud. Am I still coming through on the mic in the stream?
You were. The stream was lagging for a second, but
Yeah, it looks like we're back.
Okay.
Hellhead's what separates the men from the boys. It's true.
don't say
it's
that.
true.
It's not true.
Right?
It's not true.
Nobody has been able to figure out what is up with Helmet Head that gives people so much trouble. It's just a mystery for all time.
No, Zero. I actually agree. I love Sarah as a design, and she was like a lot of fun to go all the time. And I think like if I do a master run or like a nightmare run, she'll probably be my favorite boss because you can't just use her low health pool. But yeah, just like in a normal run, she just kind of like unfortunately doesn't stand up to you. But I like her. I like her a ton as just like her whole flow. It's like honestly watching the nightmare run has just kind of made me want to give it like a shot because like it actually like affects the game or affects the bosses in a way that like I'm interested in.
I think El Piso so far has been a very different boss than I remember him being, because like, I had to do the whole melee strat thing, which obviously you have no real reason to attempt on normal playthrough. Okay, so we actually have some health going into Ridley, and that might make this better. Or I could fall down and, you know, die horribly, that works too.
I think I always sucked at El Piso, like even in my normal run. And the way I beat him was that he just stayed on the ground for a long time, and I killed him with the energy gem.
Yeah, that's something that wouldn't happen on Nightmare, for example. And the text box here are pretty annoying, wow.
Yes, they are, Zephyr. Why did you put the text boxes here? What made you do this?
I hate the player, probably. Secretly just hate everyone. Just want them all to feel as all the agony I feel.
Oh, so Zephyr, this is actually funny, but me and Ice both did the same thing. So we both misread this and thought it literally meant 10 seconds, 10 on the thing. And we both did it. I had 3 left on the timer when I entered this.
Oh my god.
I think Ice did the exact same thing. And
Okay.
yeah.
Now we're on the last map of Metroid, finally. No, you did not finally do it, Claire. As much as you would like to say that you did. And we're keeping track of cutscenes you can't skip. This is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and this is apparently Raquel had a lot of trouble figuring out how to beat him here.
Yes, he did.
That was funny.
You can actually use Jerry and the other weapon sets here for whatever reason. I never noticed the dialogue here. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. Jerry, please.
Yeah, once you grab the program chip, that's what causes the abilities to be unlocked.
Right. That actually makes sense.
No, anytime now. You can switch anytime now.
Yeah, I know.
Are you just reading all the dialogue now?
Yeah, that's what I was doing, because I never actually read it. And you have so little, hearts to do this with.
The thing about Hex here is that he comes off as he's just kind of an annoying kid doing neener at you. He's not really threatening. He's just kind of making fun of you, like your Millhouse or something. It's pretty bad.
So much ammo.
Ammo. So did Kefit take I wonder if Kefit took long to figure out what you had to do to break Ridley at the end.
I don't. No, I think he messed. I think he messed it up once, and then he scanned it, and he's like, "Oh, I have to do that."
Fighting Ridley with the gravity well, because why not?
Yeah, the vault changes.
Oh, there's a 2-hour message. Useful. So this is actually kind of obnoxious with this amount of ammo. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, so I have to go unlock a door real quick because we got the ceiling guys coming over again. I'll be right back, and I guess we'll decide if we want to keep going then. One sec.
Actually, he has to go and do. He has to go to the Abomination. He has to try it.
Yeah, he actually does have to try it. I want to know what happens.
I think I get another anime avatar following me. Hey, another anime avatar followed me on Twitter.
I'm so sorry. It's at least 100% my fault. If the army of anime avatars followed you.
That's okay.
Oh, it was Castle, wasn't it? No, it was, you know.
At first I was blaming Mugi until you said something, because I had seen Mugi talking about the game.
I hooked everyone on it basically. I like convinced Mugi to start playing it again, and then like you found your Twitter and I was like, oh my god, it's Twitter, everyone look, and then.
It's because I haven't looked at my. It's because I only looked at the notifications, Brian. Because I'm bad about Twitter. Let's see here. I'll look. Let me get Brian. Oh, he did. I'm gonna retweet that shit. There we go. Click the love button on it. It's like the like. It has a heart on there, but it's called the like button. It should be the love button. There we go. Brian does need love. You got love, Brian. You got love.
He deserves no love.
Oops.
You know, I actually liked all the Hex fights for the most part. I mean, I think the Warship one kind of has a very slow avoidance thing that could maybe has like some people don't like, but I mean, I think all the I like Hexer especially is like he's the best.
That fight was originally going to be so much longer. See, there was going to be more change-ups. It was going to be like 3 more change-ups, and I'm like, nope.
What else did you have in mind? For like, did you have more genre like bending for Hexer?
Yeah, there was more genre things. There was a thing where there was going to be somewhat of a. So, sorry, you haven't seen the DT1, and there's a thing at the end of DT1. I won't spoil it then. But Hex was going to be messing with things that Jeremy was messing things back, and Hex was going to like constantly switch Jeremy back between robot and fighting mode Hex, or fighting mode Jeremy. He was going to do weird things like that to him at one point. There was going to be a very, very short breakout moment.
Man, dude, Jeremy is buff as hell. I didn't realize it, but Jeremy is ripped.
There was going to be a pinball segment where Hex essentially becomes the ball, and he can't leave the thing. You just have to avoid him for a moment while you're shooting him.
That's pretty good.
And there was also going to be a thing. This was so that little sequence at the end, the little flyby with the camera, was added later. But initially, there was going to be after the credits rolled, Hex was going to get back up, and you're going to do like another fight with like a last like semi like uber dramatic thing between Hex and Jeremy at the end when he's out of the distortion, so they can both be hurt again.
Let's see.
So I'm back. If you didn't notice,
I heard.
We heard you, but of course that all never happened.
yeah. So you're talking about like basically, I wasn't expecting the fight to just end with Jeremy doing the whole Kamehameha on Hex there, but I guess it's pretty fitting.
And like, as much as I like love the War Master fight, and you know, like Windward Birds is forever stuck in my head until like day's end. Like, And even if I give Hex a lot of grief for being this kind of, for being a bit of a dweeb, I'm sorry, but like I think the last like story boss in quote should really have been Hex.
Yeah, Hex
Like
is
it's a lot. It's fitting.
Hex is basically the actual villain of the franchise. War Master is just, he got caught up in it. He didn't really want to fight you. So we're gonna go see the Abomination Easter egg, I think.
Oh, good. You did save, okay? Because you need to save before you do that.
Is it gonna do something exciting then?
Maybe.
Well, we'll find out.
Man, I'm excited.
Yeah, I actually didn't consider doing this at all, so it's a good thing Zephyr was here to guide us.
You forgot to put on Wafu mode.
Oh, let's save and do that real quick. Actually, let me get off the screen to get the transition. Okay, it's no problem. We can do it from the title screen. We're good.
Zero, look at Zero's comment, Wafu.
I'm sorry, but this is a strictly limited cheese run.
What was his comment? Oh, so they don't actually mention the name here? Oh well.
God damn it! I love how it actually changes it in the boss gallery too, by the way.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Yes!
Yeah, it doesn't go and change it in dialogue things.
Oh, wow. This is amazing.
Oh god, what's about to
Can't see
happen?
It's not super elaborate. It's just, it's there though.
I
I
can't.
wonder how many people have seen this.
I can't
this
believe he
weird-
actually did this.
Wait. What the fuck? Where? What happened here?
This is awesome.
Wait, what the fuck happened?
But what is it?
Where'd we go? What the?
So I use that grid for lining things up sometimes. For not lining, but just measuring things at times.
We found it. What did we find?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is it?
This is truly incredible.
Please. Hello?
Thank you, Zephyr. As it should.
You actually like made screens for this.
Sure.
This
Yay.
This dialogue, this is still going. Yay.
Well, I think that was the actual true end of the game. We can stop playing now. Waffles is at a loss for words.
Wafu's dead.
Actually, yeah. We beat the video game. It's over.
That actually just prompted me to ask, Zephyr, are you like actually actively working on any new game at the moment, or are you still figuring out what you want to do next after DT?
There are little things being worked on right now. Yeah.
Because I am definitely interested in whatever you have, going on in your head at the moment, I guess you could say.
I get that kind of a lot now.
Let's see. Now I have to figure out who to talk to in the city, which is, part of it. Sometimes kind of hard to remember.
So, there's only one more heart left to get.
Oh yeah, from the RPG gate.
Oh right, you don't talk to anyone. You just keep going.
Oh,
That's right, in the desert.
right, okay. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
now.
you skip the city this time. Yeah.
Next is, the next one is Contra, right?
It is. Slake's even said it. Time travelers. We're all time travelers here. You go kill Baby Wafu. Yeah, you can kill Baby Wafu.
Oh yeah, we can.
What if Baby Wafu is just the hardest thing ever on Nightmare?
I somehow doubt that. I mean, I can't really see how it could be.
My son, go for
the
it.
strategy would be completely unchanged. So those desert titans are pretty annoying, so we'll just run past them. Pretend he was... I managed to survive the sandworm by having invincibility frames. That's pretty cool.
Sudden rocks.
Wow, that. My son should have killed you there, but he didn't.
Yeah, like I said, I had the iframes from getting hit by the stealth bug, so he didn't...
Intended damage anything.
Yeah, intended, totally. So those guys...
You can...
Go ahead.
Zero, you can try the thing you're calling. Hold on, because it's not just like... The... where's... That's the object you're calling, Zero. Oh, we're gonna have a delay. There's gonna be a delay between... I don't think he'll break if he's on other maps. He certainly won't work the same.
So is Zero like doing some sort of debug mode thing, or what?
Yeah, he has access to all that. You can, if you know what the object names are, you can spawn anything.
Oh, so Zephyr, something funny you might want to know is Mugi actually translated all the chapter names into Japanese for fun.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Oh man.
He also did like a test, like a translation of a Japanese translation of the UI.
Oh, yeah, we were kind of joking about translating DT3 into Japanese and seeing it get popular
Oh, no.
over there. But we decided we couldn't really figure out anywhere to actually post it because there's actually a pretty big community of free games in Japan to this day. It's like, you know, freeware games people make and post on. There's like a couple different directories for them. Thing is, they don't allow games that use, you know, stolen assets, let's say.
Yeah.
And I think even, especially in Japan, that's probably a much bigger taboo than it is even over here. So probably not ever going to see the DT3 Japanese translation, I'm afraid.
Sad fate. We
Sad.
even had like a small conversation about how War Master would sound in Japanese
Oh, yeah.
and like what you and like how you translate incredible. I think we settled on Mikoto,
Yeah.
but
So I guess we should go kill... I think we're going to kill Baby Wafu, and that'll be the end of this stream. I need to turn on the
That'll work.
Wafu mode. Again.
feels
Oh, yeah.
bad, man.
I wonder if it changes the name pop up here or not. Oh, when it shows the boss name. I don't remember if it changes that one. But we'll find out in a moment then.
Can you? How could you do this to me?
I told you at the beginning of this LP that we were going to kill you and we were going to kill your son, so you were warned well in advance. And I think you can actually skip most of the screen if you're not getting the items, maybe? Come on. Come at me, bro.
Oh yeah, Brian wants to try 2x mode as well. I was gonna stream that as well sometime. Just for fun.
Oh god, the armored bug,
Yeah.
the worst enemy ever made.
So that actually reminds me, is there like a particular reason that DT3 is 30 FPS instead of 60? I mean, I don't really think it makes much of a difference, but just wondering why that was the case.
Performance concerns, and then turns out I can run the game at 60 FPS just fine,
Yeah.
and so can pretty much anything else.
I do like the system specs of DT3, which is just like anything made in like since 2007.
Yeah, I'd be kind
The
of...
game wasn't terribly optimized in the beginning, and throughout development it just things got better for it.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if anybody couldn't run this game at full speed now. So I managed to kill the armored bug without getting hit. That's basically my biggest achievement so far.
It's like, it's probably as hard as like Bowser.
Yeah. And there's another one that comes from the top of the screen there, just, you know, in case you didn't get enough of his friends.
Oh, there's more cheese.
Yeah. Plenty of cheese.
I had trouble streaming DT3, but only because OBS like had no idea what it was, and it was just very, very, very confused.
Yeah, I have to do the actual display capture in full screen to get it to capture properly. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I mean, it might be Game Maker as a whole. Who knows?
I use window capture for this game.
Armor bugs. Bad news.
They're crazy. They're a small target with 500 HP.
Yeah. Mega Man Special is actually kind of good against them. You know, it has to be good against something, I guess.
There you go, one thing. In case
One
you were
really
curious.
annoying thing, at least.
Yeah, in case you were curious with the numbers, War Master proper has 15,600 HP,
Oh,
and Wex has 16,400.
Oh,
So he doesn't have.
I actually did not know that Wex had a different health number than War Master.
Yeah, he only has 800 more. He's not a huge amount.
Dude, that's like 6 extra melee hits, man.
Yeah, it's not a big difference.
Not a big difference, he says. The whole form you have to go through extra.
Basically.
that's actually pretty ingenious. Because it's like not enough that you would actually notice it, but you would feel it in the end, let's say.
Even if he had the same HP, it would still
Yeah, it's,
feel different because it just gets so much harder to hit him, or consistently hit him.
yeah, that's
Oh, I know.
That's-
Yeah, Moogie's killing my son for no reason.
that's actually the difficulty I'm finding when I'm practicing Wex, rather, is it he's just so damn hard to hit, because, you know, he doesn't just stand there and like kill him like what poor Master does.
My favorite thing about Wex is that when he summons a airball and then like spams tornadoes and then summons another airball to despawn the previous airball. Like, what the fuck, man? Calm down.
I thought about putting him at 18, but I was like, no, that's too high. And then I thought 17, like, no, still don't like 17.
So, Wafu, how did you actually figure out that the airball can be destroyed anyway? Because none of us actually realized it could be destroyed in any way at
Yeah.
first.
A little man named Brian.
Ah. Basically, you had to be spoiled.
I had long since beaten it,
Oh, yeah.
but I think I was watching someone else fight it, and no, we were watching Kefik stream, and then he mentioned it in passing.
Yeah, like, apparently you're supposed to figure that out because all homing items, all homing projectiles in the game can be bombed, but I definitely didn't know that in the first place.
Nobody figures that out. What? Not a single soul has ever gotten to War Master and thought that they could bomb bombs.
It just seems like such a ridiculous thing to do at first, too. I mean, it's actually not that bad with Morph Ball bombs, but at first it just seems like, wait, you really expect me to do this? But you get the hang of it. And I think I did this section with double jump my first time, which made it, you know, a lot easier.
Makes it way easier to just with double jump.
Good thing we have the spring ball now.
It's like you can only tell through enemy scans that like There's only a select few enemy scans will ever let you know that that's even a mechanic.
So there's some decently well-hidden cheese here. I think I told Kefit how to get it and spoiled him inadvertently. You gotta go in the hole here in the morph ball, and somehow I messed it up. And this is one of the few pipes that I think actually leads to another map, instead of just spitting it out on the same one. And there's
Oh, that's cool.
there's the cheese % run.
Cheese
There you go.
That's a great name. It's cheese %.
And here's the map where you gotta, use your mouse and your controller at the same time.
There's the dark mode is basically every map beating this.
Yeah.
I think
It's just kinda
I
there.
think this is actually probably the best dark map in the game. The ones in the Magic Castles kind of feel, pointless when I died at the ends.
Please,
It's okay.
don't die at the end.
This map is actually pretty fun because you pretty much just put Chow ahead of you and pay attention. It's not bad. The ones in the Magic Castle feel like they were just made dark for the hell of it, really.
Yeah, I feel that way too at this point.
I honestly kind of wish there were more like split party maps in the game, just because it was a lot of fun to you.
Yeah, it's kind of a forgotten mechanic.
I wouldn't mind seeing more like actual Chow combat, like at the end of the update. But at
Chow combat.
the same time, I feel like it might have gotten kind of ridiculous. Let's say if you had to do it more than once or twice. And I can imagine Zephyr saying as a joke somewhere that you have to control Chow while also controlling Claire and Jerry, and I think that's what it would have ended up as if you went much further with that.
Would have been ridiculous.
Oh god, that sounds kind of fun, but at the same time, the port shit.
Oh, it doesn't change.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
wait.
It doesn't.
I naturally figured that out, Slacks. What? That's not that hard. I don't think that's that unintuitive at all. Oh. God, 20 damage. Oh, so I guess I didn't realize the Nightcrawler or Sandcrawler also did 20 damage. So I guess the Abomination isn't the single biggest hit.
Both Wafus do the same amount of damage.
That's interesting enough.
There you go. He taught his son well.
Yes.
Wow, this guy's just dying.
And I died.
Please.
No first try bosses, I'm afraid. There we go. Nightmare Achilles Sandcrawler. Very easy if you know what to do. Actually, it took me a while to figure out the optimal quick kill strat for that, though, in the boss gallery, but since I know it, it's...
The best one is Kefit's Jerry bombing him repeatedly.
Did he actually try doing that? That's amazing.
He did do it.
No, he did do it.
He did it.
Oh, wow. So here's the map where if you have the retry screen on, you jump into the spikes every time you retry it, which is great.
Yeah.
I believe that's not a problem with the game, but with Game Maker's controller support or something.
It's different than the way it takes everything else, yeah.
So I think that's good for tonight. Did pretty bad against Ridley, I'm gonna say, but I think I did the Sandcrawler alright. So So we'll call it even.
That works.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll say it's even.
Use this chair.
So either of you guys have anything to say before I kill the stream?
No, it was pretty fun.
Alright,
And
Yeah,
we
it's
got
fun stuff.
and Metroid is long.
All right. You said
It
you'll
is
be
pretty
around for the rest of the week, Zephyr?
Yeah, except for Friday and well, your times anyway. Pretty much any time.
Okay.
So,
We're solid.
All right. Sounds good. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching.